everybody. They haven't got me yet. Still here broadcasting live 2 times a week, and YouTube hasn't shut me down, so I guess they're not paying too close of attention to me anymore. Okay, let's see here. Let me get over to the Skype thingy. Get a call started up here. There's David F. Townballa. Slide down here and grab Mr. Lance Musser. Get him added in there. And down to Kim Collier. Where'd she go? Where'd she go? Let's see. Where'd you go, Kim? There you are. Add to the call. Alrighty. Let's see who picks up first. Rolling the ringtones. 1 ringy-dingy. 2 ringy-dingy. Strike 3. All right, well, we'll just go ahead and carry on for a minute until everybody gets online. Raining again here in the Ozarks. I don't know if you guys saw what I tweeted out earlier or posted on Facebook earlier today, but the death toll in Arkansas is up to 7. People are being carried away by the floodwaters over on the east side of the state, over by the what? What is that? Who's trying to call me back on my own fucking call, man? Let's try this again now. I got all 3 of you on the line here. Add into that call. There's Lance Musser.
Hey,
There's
everybody.
Kim.
I am so sorry. I'm never going to figure that thing out.
No, you can't call me. I got to call you when I'm doing the broadcast.
So embarrassing.
That's okay. You're blonde underneath all that dark color.
I think for sure, actually, I was at one point in real life.
How about you, Lance? Are you blonde? No, he's just high.
Lance?
He's just high.
Yeah, so it says join
call. Yeah.
So I thought, it says join call, so that means I must be added in. So I thought, okay, I'll push the button.
No,
And
all you
then
got to
it
do is
does
hit
the
the
thing. I'm
answer
like, well.
button. Yeah, you hit the answer button, the little green one. Looks like a telephone thingy. Lance, plug your shit in, man. Unmute yourself.
No, it's in.
Oh,
It's
okay.
in. It's in.
Hello.
Hey, good evening.
So now we're just waiting on Mr. David F. Town.
Townballa.
Yup. See if he'll get added in here. He'll see it.
To washing his balls.
It's on his desktop, so hopefully he'll see it here directly. All right. In the meantime, let's carry on. Talk about I was just talking about the flooding going on continuously here in the Ozarks and down through the south and over toward the east now. The levee broke in 9 different places down in Pocahontas. In Pocahontas, it's over on the east side of the state, over by the Boot Heel of Missouri. And
Terrible.
Yeah, the entire town is underwater. So it's not looking good down there. Like I said, the death toll in Arkansas is up to 7. And I think the death toll through 5 states due to this flooding that's been going on is up to 18 now. So
That's awful.
anybody that's around the area that can hear my voice, please be careful. Don't travel over flooded roadways, even if the water's not moving rapidly. You don't know. There might be a sinkhole. There might be a missing culvert somewhere. Just don't. I mean, it's going to stay pretty bad around here for quite a while now because we're supposed to get 2 more inches of rain tonight and some more tomorrow. So just, if it's in your thoughts, and pray for everybody that's down here. Pray for the people that are affected by it. Send us some good thoughts and good energy because we're going to need it for a while. There's a bunch of bridges that have been washed out completely. There's people that are cut off from towns and stuff now because of the bridges washing out. So
I've seen that. I saw that on TV.
yeah, it's pretty dire in certain places around here.
Yeah, and people aren't going to want to leave their homes, but they might have to.
Yeah. I feel sorry for all the people that are on the river's edge, because both that's what happened in Pocahontas. They're right on the Black River, and the levee broke, and in 9 different places. It broke in 9 different places, and it was just rebuilt in 2010. So, it's just bad. They're calling it a 500-year flood event. That's what I heard today. They're saying that the water levels over on the Black River in Pocahontas have gone 10 feet over their all-time high. So
Yeah, your
What
homeowner's
happens-
insurance don't cover that shit either.
no, it's pretty epic.
And what happens to all the animals?
Most
like
of
the
them have been
horses?
washed down the river. There's a lot of dead farm animals. There's a
Really?
lot of guys that can't get to the fields to try to save their cattle because the roads are out. Everything's cut off. It's pretty bad. So, and it's not the only place. I mean, they got problems going on all over. But I'm just letting you know what's going on in my neck of the woods. So, like I said,
Yeah, how far is that Pocahontas? I even saw that on Good Morning America this week, yesterday or this morning or yesterday. They had the sheriff from Pocahontas out on TV.
yeah, it's on the other side of Cherokee Village from me, so it's probably close to 2 hours east of me.
Oh, okay.
As,
All right.
as you try to drive it. So yeah, it's over by the Boot Heel in Missouri, right by the about 30 miles or so before you get to the Tennessee line, the Missouri line.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's bad. That's where they lost a couple of children in a car. Lady tried to cross over, go into her house, tried to cross over a small creek crossing, and the water.
That's actually the one that you heard on the radio when you were on the show the other night, wasn't it? I thought Saturday or something you had heard a car going off or something. I thought you said that when you were on air.
Yeah, that was local here. That was some.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some guy got washed off the road in a pickup truck over by Midway.
Oh.
But yeah, no, I don't. Pocahontas is too far away for me to pick up their radio traffic.
Gotcha.
All right, let's jump into. Did you make it on, David? David?
Doesn't sound like it.
Nope. Well, he's lit, man. Let me jump over here one more time and see if I can get him added into the call.
He's washing his bowls.
Probably. You're supposed to get some pretty. Man, you're gonna break that bowl doing that, dude.
No, it's unbreakable.
Oh well, you're gonna break the ashtray then.
That would break first. You can actually drop this thing on cement and throw it down the hall,
No
and it
shit.
doesn't break. It's that double lined kind
Really?
where they make it from the inside out. It's indestructible. I've never seen one like it. And the guy showed me, he beat it on the thing.
You'll have to show me that, man. You'll have to send me a link or something to it.
Yeah, well, I'll send you one. I mean, they are awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, you can throw that in with the several bags of beef jerky that you still haven't
Yeah,
sent.
man, I got some going now.
Yeah, you told me that a couple weeks back and still haven't sent me.
No. I gave that to my dad to take back to Germany. All that stuff that when he was here,
How'd he get it through customs?
I gave him like 3 pounds to take back to Germany since he couldn't
How'd he
experience it.
How'd he get it through customs?
Just
know,
put it
let's
in
take-
his bag.
I thought you
I
couldn't
mean, a
take no
suitcase.
food or
Put it
nothing
in a
anymore.
suitcase.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm sure them dogs went crazy over that shit.
I'll bet they did, man. Wonder if he made it back with it all.
Yeah, he did. I've talked to him.
Cool. What's up,
I've
David?
talked to him since then.
Hey, what's happening, guys?
How you feeling
Hey,
tonight,
what's
brother?
up, F-Town?
How you feeling tonight, man?
I'm not too good, actually, but I'm hanging in there.
Or is that dark chocolate? Is that what my nickname for you was? What's up, dark chocolate?
Oh, jeez. Are you all medicated, man, or just in pain tonight, or?
Oh, it's a lot of pain. Everything I've got is moving to my right foot now, my right big toe. I can barely walk on it. And dealing with VA and a regular hospital at the same time, and it's just the financial strain starting to catch up to me now, man. It's just ridiculous.
Dealing with the
I
VA
bet.
yeah. Dealing with the VA is just horrible, man.
You know, I'm trying to deal with my health issues, but then you're getting your medical bills in the bill, and it's like, holy fuck.
Yeah, but those medical bills and things kind of make you more sick. Like, truly, I swear to God, it makes you more sick.
It puts you under a great deal of stress, man, and it causes
Yeah,
it
your
causes
stress
further
level
health
is so
problems,
high.
right? You know, as far as I'm concerned, a U.S. veteran of the military, so long as the injuries and stuff are military related, anything that they're running through is military related, I think that should be covered 100% by the government, man. You know, there is absolutely zero reason why we should have any homeless veterans, any veterans that are waiting for medical, any kind of medical services or dental.
I
It doesn't
agree.
matter. Psychological services. It doesn't matter. They should not have to foot a fucking dime of any of that.
Well, my
I
dad.
you know what I want to see Trump do with the VA here, and you know, I've even wrote my congressman over this last year. I wrote him, and not that it does any good, but I
Fuck
wrote
no,
him,
I
I
don't give a
emailed
shit,
him.
man.
What I want to see done with the VA is that a vet, right now they've got it where Trump just, you know, basically renewed where if you're a veteran, you live 40 miles away from the VA, you can go to a civilian hospital and the VA will pay for it all, just like you went to the VA. You know, me, I live in town, so I'm fortunate. There's only one VA hospital here in North Dakota, and it's right here where I live. So I don't have to drive but 15 minutes to get there. But what I want to see is where Trump can say, not only can a vet that lives 40 miles out go to a regular hospital, but if a vet has to deal with the civilian hospital too, that they'll pay for that.
Hell yeah.
You know, I should have a choice to go to either a civilian hospital or the VA, and you pay for either one of them.
That's
If
right.
you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor.
Yeah.
You know, because the VA here, it's a VA hospital. They only do minor type of surgeries here. Like for me, they, you know, for chemo and all that, they wanted to send me to all these different like St. Louis or they couldn't make up their mind, or Kansas City. And so I said, I can't do chemo through you. I can't, you know, as much as I need you to pay for this, I can't be sent away to out of state every time I need chemo. And they expect me to pay for it right away. Then when I get back, we'll pay
They'll
you back.
reimburse you. Yeah, right.
I'm like, I don't have the money
Yeah,
now.
that's
I said, for
crazy.
one, my car won't make it that far. I said, it ain't going to work. So I was forced to go to a civilian hospital for my chemo treatments. Because I'm on Medicare, they'll pay for 80%, but I'm still stuck with 20%. And you know, 3 chemo treatments is costing me $15,000. That's going to be what I have to pay right now.
That's
You know,
fucking
they're
stupid.
still trying to get me to do a 4th. And I'm going between the VA because I told my oncologist at the civilian hospital I can't afford a 4th round. I said, is there any way? Because the VA and them are kind of working together, but they're not. The VA's running the blood test, your analysis, extra dosage of things I might need, and my civilian hospital's running the chemo part of it. And so they're kind of talking, but yet the VA's like, we can't cover this, this, and this, sending me a list of stuff. And I'm like, I said, I can't. And they're telling me I need a 4th round, but I can't afford another one. So I'm trying.
Well, you shouldn't have to pay any damn thing, just like Jimmy said. There's,
You know,
Well,
I'm
yeah,
trying
but
to
us
get the
wanting
VA
it-
to jump on board here. The VA's like, we'll cover a 4th. You know, it ain't that the VA won't pay for a 4th
yeah,
round.
but you have to be sent somewhere else.
Well, that's it. They want me to go to Kansas City or St. Louis, and I'm like,
So
I
yeah,
can't
fucking
do
put me on a
this.
fucking plane and I'll go, but I can't do it otherwise, man. You know.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Well,
be
see,
number
and then
one. I
you're
don't want to be
supposed
away from my
care about
family
your
for
care
3
team.
fucking weeks
If
trying to
your
make the
care
trip.
team is your wife, David.
You know?
If your care team is your wife, or whoever it is that is your direct care team that helps you and just all that, if they can't go with you because they have a job or whatever, and they can't just drop everything, they can't expect you to go by yourself without.
why? Yeah,
you
why
know,
doesn't
your
the VA have
significant
a?
other?
Why
Well, I
doesn't
can't
the VA
drive
have a
that
shuttle
far. I
shuttle
can only
service?
drive for like 15 minutes at a time with my hands.
Yeah,
away.
and then
But
all that
I'm-
crap in your system.
Even if
Oh
they
my
won't, even if they
goodness.
won't put you on a plane or something, why doesn't the VA have a shuttle service where they can throw you in a van and have somebody
Yes,
drive you down there for your
exactly.
treatments?
Well, that's it. They were having a fit. They're like, I'm like, well, I can't find, you know, I need a way down there. And they're like, well, maybe we can get you a bus ticket, or maybe
No.
we can get you a plane. We don't know for sure. And
Oh,
and they've
please.
just been beating me around the corner.
You know,
there.
and the significant other, if you're lucky enough to have a mate and you happen to be a vet, and you're lucky enough to have and fortunate enough to have a mate, like a significant, you know,
A mate?
care partner
Is he
or
a
whatever.
fucking zoo animal? He's got a wife.
Well, no. I mean, if there's somebody that's going to be able to help you, and they're not allowed to just take off because, you know, they have a job or whatever, I think that if you're a vet, they should allow whoever is helping you or whoever's related to you or married to you, as in a partner, mate, whatever. The government should be able to, you know, one hand should talk to the other, even though restaurants and, you know, whatever, hospitals and all these different entities are not government, but they should be. You should have time that's set aside in big businesses that allow you to go and help your, you know, your significant other or whatever. If they're a vet and they're trying to seek medical help, you should be able to take off. It should be no different than having, you know, maternity leave or whatever. It should
Well,
be
that's what
set
I told
aside
them.
care.
my wife works 2 part-time jobs, and I told them, I said, my wife can't afford to take off one of her jobs, let alone both of them, because part-time you don't get benefits from the company. And so I said, my wife would lose out on all that money. We'd be gone for like a week. And I'm like, we can't do that. And I keep telling my VA counselor, I'm like, we can't do that. And they just can't seem to get it through their head. And I'm like, whatever, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, George said it right in the room. The VAs, their job is to eliminate the fucking veterans. As far as the level of care that you get at a VA hospital is just, it's laughable. It really is laughable. For the amount of money that they spend building fucking bombs and stuff, for them to have that kind of care in their, it's just, makes me want to vomit.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. It makes me want to
Well,
vomit.
that's what I want to see Trump say. Say they want me to do, the VA's like, we'll pay for chemo, but you got to do it through a VA hospital. Well, what I want to see Trump say is if you live in a town like I do, the biggest town in North Dakota, and we have this one VA in the whole state, I want Trump to say, all right, well, since this VA doesn't offer cancer care, we'll allow Dave to go to the civilian hospital that offers cancer care, and we'll pay for that.
Who's the black dude he put in charge of housing or whatever?
Ben Carson?
Ben Carson.
Yeah, why didn't he put Carson in charge of the VA?
Why
didn't he make Carson
a medical doctor?
Yeah, why didn't he make Carson the Surgeon General?
Oh my God, I don't know why.
I don't get,
I think they talked about that. I think he'd turn that one down.
Did he turn that one down? Well,
Why?
whatever.
I'm pretty sure he turned one of them down. Maybe it was the one Betsy DeVos, the education one, he turned down.
Oh, shit.
Well, I don't blame him for that.
She's an idiot too, man. It's his
They started
cabinet.
doing those foundations years ago for the education thing. They've got to break down a lot of stuff that's been built up for years to break down this mess they've got for education.
His cabinet,
now.
though, his cabinet is just a joke. He's got so many major positions in his cabinet that still aren't filled yet, and he's 100 fucking days into his term. It's just.
Yeah,
I was
it's
talking
a
about
joke.
X the other day, and everybody cusses out Michelle Obama because of their stupid food thing that they got to eat.
Yeah.
They can't have birthday cakes and this shit to come in because of the stuff that she implemented.
Mm-hmm.
They said they cuss her out daily. That Michelle Obama's cussed out in the city schools daily.
Yeah, but I thought he reversed all that. The kids can eat real
I don't know
food
about
now.
the meals thing. He's trying to back out Common Core. I did hear that.
Oh, I thought I saw a little blurb a couple days ago that they changed all the food program back to normal too.
It may take a while.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we could bring in cupcakes. We could bring in whatever we wanted. Now everything.
Well, you can't do that
Now
now
it's hard
because
to
of
do that for
peanut
your
allergies. You can't do it
Yeah.
now because of peanut allergies.
Yeah, every kid's
Yeah.
got to have a fucking safety tag wrapped around their face. It's ridiculous, man. Are they going to start issuing hard hats and stuff when you walk into the school now? Give them a little bubble to walk around in.
You were funny.
the kids need to go out and eat some fucking dirt and rub some
Little
rub
snowflake
some shit in their
name
wounds.
tags.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. They're
Go
turning
walk
all
in
the kids
grass with their bare feet.
into these. Yeah, they're turning all these kids into these fluffy little no goods that bitch about everything. They think they're owed everything from the time they leave fucking high school.
I'm still picturing what was that kind of thing you wanted wrapped around the face? What was that?
A little safety tag, a little safety.
a
Don't
little safety
touch this
tag.
child. He might get a germ. It's ridiculous, man. I remember watching a program back when I was a kid, The Boy in the Plastic Bubble. That's what they're trying to turn all
Yeah.
these fucking kids into, man. They make
John
them,
Travolta, baby.
yeah, they make them scared to death to go outside. You might get a sun ray on you. Oh my God! Slather them up with some cream and shit before you send them out.
Oh God!
It's ridiculous. Yet they'll put them on a bus with no seatbelts.
Oh right.
Right? I watched one
we
today.
used to use sunscreen, like the baby oil for sunscreen, just so we would tan better with
yeah.
lemon to make our hair blonder.
Watched a bus driver today. So I can't remember where he was. I don't know if he was in Louisiana or up in Missouri, but it's in one of these flood zones, driving his bus full of kids across a road that was running with water, and it pushed him off into the ditch. If they don't fire that fucking cat tomorrow, then you know what's up. It's just ridiculous. The guy, he was complete stupid. Drove into a roadway that you couldn't even see the road anymore. The water was up to the bumpers of the bus, and it pushed him off the road into the ditch.
Okay, that
Full of
part where
kids.
you said if they don't fire him by tomorrow, then you know what's up. I'm a little slow. What's up if they don't fire him tomorrow?
They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. It's
Oh.
either the school system doesn't fire
that's
that driver,
obvious.
then they don't give a shit about the kids.
Yeah.
It's national news. It was on the Weather Channel. They're the ones that had the footage of it. That's where I saw it at.
So he knew not to do it, and he still did it. So he took a risk that he knew was a risk.
with a busload of
lost.
children. If he'd have been by himself in the bus, I wouldn't have had any complaints at all. You know,
Yeah,
you want to
but
kill
he had a
yourself,
busload
great,
of
but you got a
children.
busload of kids that that you
Wow.
took responsibility for. That was a bonehead move.
Yeah, it was.
So
Sure was.
let's hope he gets
And
fired.
then on top of it, a lot of those kids are probably children that are born from little delicate snowflake adult children.
Yeah. Well, we don't have too many snowflakes down here in the Ozarks. If that's where it happened, I can't remember if it was here or down in
Oh,
Louisiana.
okay.
But-
I was gonna say we've got some serious snowflakes out there.
Well,
Let's
we've
see if
got
they make it
idiots
even
down here.
worse.
I'm not gonna deny that. We've got some seriously fucking stupid people down around here. But no, there are not too many snowflakes. Not too many snowflakes because they grew up in the woods. You know, most of the people around
I
here.
picture the banjo playing.
Oh, I
That's
used to
pretty
love
close,
that
man.
music.
You know, there's some areas of the Ozarks where the husband and wife got the same last name, but they were never married, kind of thing. So, you know
Yeah.
what
You mean like
Cousins.
inbred people?
I mean? Yeah.
Oh.
Kissing cousins, kind of. Well, you know, I don't know. I'm not going to cast any stones at anybody. I'm just-
Yeah, you really can't. I certainly am not.
Right. All right, let's move on with shit. We're about half hour into the show already. David, you got any headlines over there you want to let loose with?
Let's see here. I think the biggest one that came out today is that India's been given the green light to attack Pakistan.
I saw that, man. This is not good, too. And they just got some DNA tests back about some guys that were mutilated or something.
Yeah, the Pakistani soldiers grabbed them off their LOC line of control and beheaded them, and then left their bodies there.
Yeah.
And so
it's
India's
not
all pissed about this, man. They're like, you ain't gonna get away with this, man. You know, you just don't grab our soldiers and behead them.
good. It's
Wow.
not good. It's not good, man.
No, it's
Both
not
these
good.
countries have
So-
nuclear weapons. now.
India came out today, says there's going to be payback, and it will be announced very publicly that we're telling Pakistan we are going to retaliate militarily.
I wouldn't put that past India.
Both these countries have nuclear weapons, man.
Oh yeah, right, pointed at each other,
Right.
man.
Because of this whole skirmish that's been going on for decades. You know, the Pakistan-India war is not new. It's been going on for a hot minute.
Yep.
So, it doesn't look good.
And to the India, it's also the past couple days, it's tested this new missile they got. It's called, what's it called here?
The
Brahm missile or something
Yeah,
like
the
that.
Boharm or something like that.
And it's a land missile,
Yep.
and it'll be launched right at Pakistan, and it can carry a nuclear warhead on it. They have, both sides have the capabilities with ICBM short range, medium range. I won't say ICBMs because all their nukes are mainly meant to hit each other.
Yeah, they're just ballistic. They're not intercontinental. They're just
Yeah,
regular
they're just ballistic,
missiles.
but they all carry nukes.
Yeah, and they all got a range of up to 3,000 kilometers, which is plenty far enough to hit every city in each country. So,
Oh, yep, exactly.
not
And
good,
so,
man. And this
We'll
is
have to see
not-
what happens. With this.
except for the nuclear warheads, these ballistic missiles are very, very old technology. It doesn't take a whole lot to push a button on one of these fuckers and set it aloft,
Yeah.
So, it doesn't look good.
No.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. It was announced late last night that India had already retaliated and blew up two Pakistani outposts or two Pakistani bunkers. And India came out today and said, that's bullshit. We haven't retaliated yet. And it's going to be a lot more than blowing up two Pakistani bunkers.
Right.
I was watching some of their, I can't, there's one of them I got to translate to English. It's a live news station out of India, and they had their officials were all on there, and they were, there's the family of those two soldiers, a bunch of military generals over there are all calling for major payback. Like this one says, government gives army free hand to avenge Pakistan's mutilation act. What else here? India launches land version of BrahMos amid tension on Pakistan border. just goes there. India says they have absolute concrete evidence that Pakistan did this.
Here's another story out of India while we're on this subject. This came out of RT today. Citizens don't have absolute rights over their bodies. Privacy complaint is bogus. That's from the India government.
Yep.
India's government asserted to the country's Supreme Court that its citizens don't have absolute rights over their bodies, and the privacy argument is bogus. They were discussing a controversial new system allegedly used to fight fake IDs. I didn't even know it was that big of a deal over in India, everybody trying to be somebody else. The Aadhaar system involves biometric information such as blood and fingerprints stored in an encrypted format, and initially the government said it would only be voluntary. However, the court was hearing 3 positions against Aadhaar on Tuesday, with the petitioners arguing that Section 139AA of the Income Tax Act, yeah, it's all about the money, people. It's all about the money. Which was introduced this year via the latest Budget and Finance Act, is unconstitutional. Section 139AA requires Indian citizens to cite their Aadhaar details or enrollment ID of their Aadhaar application form in order to complete their income tax returns, as well as to apply for PAN, which is personal account number, starting in July 1st. This makes it mandatory for citizens to get the unique identity number. Mandatory. The government wants all of your data so that they can follow you everywhere. Not follow you, basically, but follow your money. So I just thought I'd throw that in there, just a little bitty blurb. We can go back to the nuclear war that's getting ready to become imminent between those two countries now. Go ahead.
Well, I think, that's the main thing with India. Like I said, India says they have concrete evidence that Pakistan did. And, like I said, they've been fighting each other forever. This could go somewhere bigger or it couldn't. It's funny. It's Turkey was over there. Erdogan was over in India yesterday. And, he was really trying to flame the fans of war over there, and so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Hopefully it won't get too serious.
I heard that Turkey's going to start bombing the U.S. troops down in Syria, too, if they get in the way of the Kurds.
Yep. That's what Erdogan said. It's funny, he just had a meeting with Putin, too, and, him and Turkey, Russia dropped a lot of their sanctions they had on Turkey or took them off.
Yeah. So,
I don't
switching sides
understand
again,
Turkey.
Huh?
Turkey's a wild card, man. They're just doing whatever they want to do.
Yeah, so switching sides again. Wherever their biggest payday is going to be, and they know that Russia's got the upper hand now in this whole NATO conflict and shit. So,
well, what's funny is they announced today. Yesterday Putin and Trump had a phone call, and but the readout said that basically Putin wanted to talk to Trump about enacting safe zones, deconfliction zones, no-fly zones. They said whatever you want to call them. It's all the same thing over Syria. That Putin and Trump said yes. So it's being announced that Putin and Trump and Erdogan of Turkey and Assad are all going to work on a whole countrywide no-fly zone. So, but what gets me, there's only several planes that fly there. There's Syria, Russia, America, Turkey, and Israel every so often.
Right.
Who are you going to do this against? I don't understand it. It's like if you all are going to agree on a no-fly zone, then that's all the actors right there that have planes. So you're basically Assad saying he's not going to bomb anybody anymore? I don't understand it, really. Don't make a lot of sense to me. Is Russia saying they're going to stop their bombing flights? Is America going to stop theirs? Turkey going to stop theirs?
Is Israel going to stop theirs?
Is Israel going to stop theirs? It really wasn't explained, and I don't think they just wanted to let it known publicly that all these America, Russia, and Turkey, Syria all agree on a no-fly zone. They're going to set them up.
Right.
So it looks like we're kind of working together in Syria. It's starting to look more and more like that, but I don't trust it still. All it's going to take is an accidental shooting of somebody, and so I don't understand. Russia's, Putin's a master chessman, and he's playing the game. He's like, all right, let's do this. He was able to get Trump in there, and Trump seems to be working with him more than what Obama ever wanted to. I'll give that to Trump. It seems like he's holding true with his thing with Syria. He wants out of there. I think he wants out of there because I don't think the war is with Russia. The war is with China. You know, that's why Obama announced during his 8 years of being president that he was pivoting 75% of our military toward Asia. And he did it. He set it up for Trump, and now Trump's taking the reins. And I think that they're going to, you know, try to cool it down in the Middle East for now, which won't stay forever. And I think our real fight's going to be with China. But, of course, Russia, then we're going to put Russia on the spot. Who you going to back?
Right.
You know, I think Trump's saying, if I work nice with you over in the Middle East, Putin, and we hold hands and we do everything together over there, what are you going to give me when we go to war with China? Because Russia knows we're going to end up in a war with China. And so we're trying to put Putin on a spot here saying, dude, you're gonna the time's coming and you'll have to pick a side.
But what's the real reason behind the war with China? Was it because of the oil or is it because of the money? Because we all know the petrodollar's going bye-bye.
Well, we owe China $1.4 trillion. Of course, you know, they're
to wipe away the debt, David.
I think it's an all, you know, basically we're telling China we can't pay you back, and not only we're not going to pay you back, we're going to try to kick your ass too. You know, basically, you know what I mean? It's like owing somebody $5 and you go up to them and say, hey, I'm not only not going to give you your $5, but I'm going to punch you in the face too.
Let me ask you this.
It's a crazy thing.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah, that sounds like us.
If I heard the little blurb today about Lil Kim talking shit about China, telling him that he was going to retaliate on them because they were stepping in with the U.S., trying to get him to back down and get rid of his nuclear program. So, what's the? I mean, are we telling Lil Kim to get this conflict started off with China now? Is that the way it's going to go? Because you know that cat's in somebody's pocket. Somebody's telling him.
Yeah, he's like a little caricature. He reminds me of a little cartoon caricature.
Right. He only does what he's supposed to do when he's supposed to do it. You know, he's like Johnny on the spot. Every time we need a distraction, a really good distraction over here in the U.S., up jumps Lil Kim.
Well, it's too bad that basketball player pooped right in the middle of his hallway, because that would have been a good thing to have him in there.
Right.
You know. Too bad he had to show his ass, if you will.
Rodman. Yeah, but
it's like they say, if there's going to be a nuclear war, it's going to start off with India and Pakistan right away, you know, because not a lot of countries control India or Pakistan.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I mean, just a couple of not even 2 weeks ago, Trump was jumping up and down saying if he fires one more fucking missile and we're going to go in there and beat his ass. And he fired another missile, and what we do? Sat on our thumb.
Yep.
You know, so I don't know. I just got so many questions about what's going on. With him turning around and talking shit about China, that just doesn't make any sense to me, because China backs them in everything they do, man. I mean, most of their nuclear technology came from China. So
yeah, not to mention all of our crap comes
a lot of it
for medical supplies.
Is that just a propaganda story that the U.S. put out?
A lot of North Korea's nuclear technology actually came from Russia in the very beginning.
Well, through what channel? China.
And it also North Korea deals directly with Iran on their nuclear program.
Well, same deal, man. I mean, they're all in cahoots. China,
yeah,
Russia, and Iran are all tight.
And the deal is, though, when Kim Jong-un came into power, he killed the only contact person between him and China, and that was the uncle. Yep. And he killed him. He executed him. And so China's president, whatever his name is, I can't remember, but China's president has never met Kim Jong-un.
Xi Jinping.
Yeah, he's never met Kim Jong-un, and in the past 3 or 4 years that Kim Jong-un's been in power, they've never met each other. They've never talked to each other on the phone. They've never talked to each other face to face, because once Kim Jong-un killed that contact, China was pissed, because basically Kim Jong-un's telling China, go fuck yourselves. Yeah, we don't need you.
I just can't fathom that shit, dude.
Yeah,
when I saw that story today, I was like,
bitch in a way, you know, it's.
Well, yeah, but when I saw that story today, I was like, does Kim Jong-un really want to die? You know, because that's what he's leading. If he keeps talking all this bullshit about everybody,
I think he does. I think he has a death wish. I don't think he realizes what he's doing, man. He's getting 2 superpowers going against him here real fast. And the deal is, some analysts say China's only talking shit against North Korea, that they back them 110%, and that basically maybe
that's what I'm wondering if that's
maybe
what this
China
is, too.
told little Kim to say this
Yeah,
today.
that's what I'm wondering. And it's just,
Yeah, trying to feel
you
out
got so
who's
many
gonna
questions,
side with
man,
who.
that you don't know what to
And that, a
believe
lot of
anymore.
analysts say that China will always be 100% in control with North
Yeah.
Korea. And that a lot of this stuff you're hearing from Kim Jong-un and China coming out saying, well, we're going to do this. Now, they said that China might back 6-month oil sanctions on them at the UN.
Well, yeah, but they said they were going to stop taking coal, too, and they took coal the
they're
very
still
next fucking
taking
day. So,
It's
still
almost like
taking.
North Korea's like China's little petulant child, where it's always going to put up
Exactly.
with its crap.
exactly.
Eventually, it's going to maybe slap its little hand and do this, this, and that, but it's always going to take care of it because it's like its parent.
Well, they said that basically, I seen something here about a week ago when it came to North Korea talking about intelligence. Everybody was asking, well, what's the hurry to go to war with North Korea all of a sudden? And this is what they were saying. They're saying that our intelligence,
Because he's failing everywhere else in the fucking administration.
Well, yeah, they said that we received intelligence now, that we know with 100% certainty that he can hit Hawaii. Now, this is what our intelligence is saying. And they gave this intelligence to Trump and
Because
said,
because the Russians hacked his missiles, right? They know with 100% certain. They knew with 100% certainty that Trump wasn't going to win the election. They knew with 100% certainty that Russia manipulated the election and won and got Trump to win. They knew with 100% certainty that the NSA stopped all their fucking all their
I'm
whatever.
just saying what the official
Oh, I
story.
know. I'm just throwing that in there. Go ahead, keep going. Sorry.
And so they said they know with absolute certainty now that he can hit Hawaii. And so that drew alarm bells off the wall in Washington, D.C. And then that's when the carrier group got orders to go there. That's when the submarines got sent there. That's when Japan. That's when Britain. That's when all of them were saying this is going to go down now because little Kim can hit Hawaii and we're not going to take the chance of him even moving closer now.
I'm not convinced that we haven't been able to hack into their things and blow them up right after launch, like they've been happening too.
Well, they said this last missile he launched, he blew up himself because they wanted testing a warhead, and there was another story saying he blew it up because it started heading toward Russian territory.
It was errantly heading toward Russian territory. So he went ahead
I've heard two separate stories now, and who knows?
The
but
first
either
one
way,
was
they're
that-
saying that he blew it up.
Yeah, the first one
And
was
if
that
I
they
had
wanted
a
to get.
missile hacked by the U.S. government, I'd probably put out a different story too. Quite frankly.
Well, I don't think that we really have the ability to do that.
No, we don't. I read we don't either, man.
Yeah, that's just a bunch of hyperbole from our guys.
Yeah.
But the first story I heard was that he sent it off with no warhead on top of it to just get telemetry data to for setting up another missile.
Yeah, that's what
That was
I
the
read,
first
too.
one. That was the first one I heard. And then
Yeah, that's what I read too.
yeah, and then the one today was that it was accidentally headed toward the Russian border, and so he blew it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys.
But it went down in the Sea of Japan. So how the fuck was it headed toward the Russian border up north and then wound up south in the Sea of I don't get it.
Exactly. That doesn't
Well,
make
see, I
any
heard
sense.
it didn't fall in the Sea of Japan. I heard it fell on their own landmass.
Oh, did it? Oh, well,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I guess it's just
got it.
whatever story you feel like listening to,
Yeah, it's wherever you want to believe, man. There's a million of them out there.
right?
Well, I just want to say something.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so you know how you guys that one time you guys were talking about how they use the media.
This
They
one time
used-
at band camp? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Jimmy. Okay, so remember we were talking about, and I wasn't on that show, but you guys were talking about how they use the media, how they use this, how they use that, how they use the sports, where everybody talks about the different games and different sports. Well, now, and that's how they pretty much had masses and masses of people where they were all discussing stuff and interacting, whether it be good, bad, whatever. But that was kind of like sideshows while they were doing something on the side because they had everybody else's attention over there on the sports or the media or the games or the whatever. Now it seems to me, on a parallel thought to that, now they're doing the same thing and we're doing the same thing. But now we're talking about all these global interactions between, this, and that, Iran, and now Turkey's getting involved, and Now you got Russia. Who are they going to side with if China decides to go to war with us? And so now it's like on a global level, that's like the big game that everybody's following and trying to see what they're doing. So what's really going on behind those scenes? Now this got everybody's attention. So now what's the New World Order people doing behind the scenes? It's like we're just being kept busy with all this stuff going on.
Distractions.
These distractions now. What's going on behind the scenes that we're not able to see, that we're not even discussing right now?
I don't think there's a lot of distraction in it. I think that this war was planned, and we're actually seeing part of the plan happen. They want us talking about it because it's fixing to happen here anytime now.
Let's see. How about the bond market going over 3% this week? How about Monday? Someone dumped $1 billion worth of paper gold onto the exchange and just smashed the price of gold and silver.
And it's paper, so it's like worth absolutely
layoffs,
nothing.
Building, companies closing, more people being put out of work. That's what they're distracting you from. They're distracting you from the crashing economy.
Yeah, guess what they had? Have you guys looked at The Economist magazine at all, ever?
Oh, yeah. I check out the new covers when they come out and stuff.
Yeah, did you see the one where they had like the tarot cards or whatever they're called? But
these had like January version.
Okay. Yeah, so then the next one they had like all the different top global elite like heads of state, like Angela Merkel in Germany, and then they've got they've got Obama, and they've got Kissinger on the magazine, and they have the guy in China. All these different people, most of them are gray, but there are just a few that are not gray, and a few of them are like flesh colored like us, and like Putin and the China guy, they're both flesh colored, but most of them are grayed out like ghosts, and those are all the heads of countries right now. Mm-hmm. But anyway, down in the bottom there's like a little Alice in Wonderland, and then there's like a Pied Piper.
Oh, that's an old
down
cover.
At the bottom, there's two cards, and they're staked to the ground.
That's an old cover, girl. That's from last year.
Oh, is that last year that says the 11?
Yeah.
First it says
11.7
and then 11.5.
Yeah, that's from last year.
Oh, okay.
That's an old cover. Catch up, girl.
Is that from
Catch
16?
up, girl. Yeah, that's from 2016.
I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, but that's all been played out. I mean, that's all been played out already. They were trying to correlate the numbers with the earthquake that happened and yab.
Yeah, the tarot cards, I never could figure out who those little medallions of the faces were because I could never screenshot it, get it big enough to actually see who the faces were.
Yeah. Someone said that they were child sacrifices.
Oh.
I've seen lots of different stuff on that. Yeah. I've seen lots of different stuff.
Yeah, that's very possible.
Silver still below 17, you guys. Right now, bid and ask price is $16.51 and $16.71. Oop, just dropped down to $16.61. Gold right now is at $12.40, $12.40.60. So, yeah, they smashed the shit out of it. Bitcoin's rocketing though. It jumped up over $1,500 for a minute today.
They say Bitcoin's another big thing. They said that China is thinking about buying. There's only like so many out there. There's only
13
like 15 million Bitcoins out there, right?
Yeah, 13 million, something like that.
Oh, okay. They're saying like China, they're going to possibly like buy every single little town a Bitcoin because it could jump up to be worth like 10, whatever, a lot, 10,000 or something. It could, or 10 million, I don't know. They're saying one Bitcoin could set up each little town if the whole economy crashed. Mm-hmm. But Bitcoin's still
it's digital.
Bitcoin's still from the internet. It's still digital, so I don't trust it either.
That's what I'm interested in it. It's very cool. Lance and I kind of tossed around a few years back buying a couple when they were down around $100, and we both kick ourselves.
Some money.
Yeah, we both kick ourselves for not doing it now, but. Ethereum's the same way. If you guys ever heard of the cryptocurrency called Ethereum, it's rocketing up too. It was like $2 and something 3 months ago, and it's over $80 now. That's a hell of an investment right there, man. If you got in when it was $2, Shit, if you got in with Bitcoin when it was down around $1.50 or something when it was initially
Yeah.
offered, fuck, man.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
the thing is,
could've
right
bought
now,
$100
if you're looking
worth
at
and
what's
been
going
set
on
for
right
life.
now, and the internet goes down, how are you going to retrieve any of that? I mean, you're screwed if there's a true issue with any of the problems that are going on out there.
That's not. I mean, it doesn't necessarily. So long as you have access to the blockchain, you don't really need the entire internet to be up. Plus, there's a dark web too that people, there's all kinds of different. If so long as people have electricity where you're trying to make the transactions, it can probably still be done. But it's still just too iffy for me. It's too iffy for me. If every country in the world all of a sudden turns their back on Bitcoin, it's going to fail. The only reason that it's taken off the way it is because big businesses have gotten into it and governments are starting to take hold of it too.
Yeah.
So if everybody decides to turn their nose up on it, it's going to go away just as quick. And look, when they talked about making two different Bitcoins, one for international commerce and one for intra-state commerce or whatever, it took a huge hit on that when they thought about making it split. So it's too iffy. It's too iffy.
So what's this dark web thing that you mentioned? I've heard of that before, but I never really understood. Is that like where you order stuff that you can't get on the regular web?
Well,
Like
yeah, I guess
antibiotics
it's
and stuff?
there's a .com and .org and every dot whatever is a different
Right.
server base. So there's another one that's a dark web, and there's places that you can go where you can click on links and get to it. And I've never done it myself. I've just seen stories about it and heard stories about it, and I think that's where Silk Road first started, was on the dark web
Well, what is
until
it?
it went mainland. It's just an alternate web where they got all kinds of different shit that you really don't want to talk about.
Oh.
So,
Oh, I thought it was like where you would order antibiotics or stuff that you couldn't get like regular wise or whatever.
No, you can order anything you want on the web on the .com side. So that
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
it's whether or not they'll deliver it to you through the mail is one thing, but
Right.
you can order anything you want. But the dark web's totally different, man. It's totally different. If you ever if you ever decide to take a trip to the dark web, make sure that you got a lot of shit on your computer to keep it safe.
Oh no, I'm
So-
fine. I don't even get on the regular computer very often. I don't really need to venture out very far. I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we got off way down a rabbit hole, so we're almost an hour into the show now. David, what's going on over there on your desk?
Well, it's one breaking news thing that just came out here. It says, emergency meeting just called at Buckingham Palace amid speculation about the health of royal family.
Uh-oh. Everybody's turning into a lizard.
Maybe the Queen's getting ready to kick it or something.
I think she's molting.
So they didn't say what, though. They just said it's emergency meeting just called. And they said,
Well, see now, I heard the
How
prince.
old is she now?
She's
90.
Yeah, 90 something. 90 something. She's now when she kicks, it's supposed to go to one of the kids. It's supposed
I
to pass
think
over the
William.
top of it's supposed to go to William or Harry, because it's going to pass right over Charles, because Charles is too doofusy to try to lead the fucking country. I guess
He is such a doofus.
he's a complete dork.
Such a joke.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I've heard stories about that cat from one of his ex-butlers. He wrote a book and told a bunch of stories about how he does this thing in the morning when he throws the shades open and acts like a fucking vampire, curls up in the corner like the sun's killing him or what. That's just whatever.
Oh god.
I don't know. Yeah, the whole fucking bloodline is just creepy as fuck. They're Saxe,
They
Coburn,
live
Goth.
in the
Yeah,
old palace of like that Vladimir guy.
Right.
now. Like they
Right.
own that. They live there. That's their residence.
bunch of baby
You know
killing
that?
fucking psychos, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah. They
So,
are.
so something's going on over in London at the palace, at the royal palace. Something's going on with the health of the royal family.
God
Well, there
save
really
the
is
Queen.
some serious pedo crap in that family. I'm not going to go as far as to say it's William and Harry. I'd like to say it's not them. That seems too normal, and I really like Princess Diana. She wasn't all with that stuff either.
No,
From what I
that's why
understood.
she ate it in the fucking tunnel.
Yeah, they did all kinds of weird stuff. An hour and a half passed before they actually got her out of that tunnel. I think there was all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah.
But she didn't want that one guy that was a pedo guy being involved with as a whatever.
Charles wanted to name that guy that was a pedo. He was a known pedophile, and Diana stood in the way and said no.
Oh yeah, you're talking about
The Queen knighted him.
The creepy blonde-headed. Well, I
Yeah,
can't even
little
think of his name
weirdo.
right now. Yeah.
So Diana wasn't with all that crap. So I'd like to hope William and Harry's not like that either.
Yeah, but he's dead now. So whatever.
Yeah.
It could be the Queen's husband too. He's 95. She's
Oh, he's
91.
disgusting. They're both gross.
Yeah, she's 91. He's 95. So they're not
both
really.
gross.
I think it's going to involve either one of them, whatever it is.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully
I
they
just read
get.
a big story on it. It just came out.
I know that the Prince Charles' brother is definitely into the pedo thing. They've had like a big falling out. I was following that for a while.
I'll tell you what, if the Queen or her husband dies, it's going to be all over the news for like 72 hours. All you're going to hear. That's
Yeah,
going to be
Jimmy
a huge-
Savile. That's the cat's name. Jimmy Savile. If
Jimmy
you guys,
Savile.
if you guys don't know anything about Jimmy Savile, you should Google him. You should type his name into your nearest search bar of choice, and just go check. He was the Captain Kangaroo of England back in the day.
That guy's a freak, man.
Yeah. Well, he's dead now.
Yeah, I
so-
bet.
and I don't have, even if he was alive, I wouldn't care. He's a fucking scumbag, man. He's raped kids incessantly his whole career.
All right.
Yeah, that guy was a sicko.
Yeah.
It's proven. It's proven. It's not just hyperbole anymore. It's proven that,
No,
that
it's
it happened.
proven.
And there's
Yeah,
a
I
bunch
think
of other
they just
people.
found a body on his residence not too long ago, actually.
Yeah. Well, there's a bunch of other people that are in the House of Parliament that are in the same
Yeah.
boat. That it's all going to start coming out, man. There's judges in the United States that are being arrested for child trafficking and drug trafficking, and it's coming out. It's coming out. People are getting, people are turning into turncoats to try to save their skin. And
Good.
It's going to start coming out more and more. I'm guessing.
Hey, you talk about human trafficking.
rats. I hope they're like rats coming off a sinking ship. I hope they turn on each other.
Yeah.
Talk about human trafficking. A story came out today that one of our contractors there was running a big prostitution ring out of Iraq.
Yeah, I saw that too. I had that as a story I was going to read.
Just running like guns, liquor, money, everything. Hookers.
Let's see if I can find
It's like
that.
we knew about it, but we turned a blind eye, and then it finally got leaked out. And
American ingenuity.
Right.
they're like we were covering up for them basically because I think our soldiers were probably giving them some business.
I'm seeing
That'd be a smart idea. Be a contractor running a bunch of women out there. You know how much money you'd make?
Right.
You would. You'd make money, man. And it sucks. I don't believe in that, but I'm just saying the dude was probably making all kinds of money.
I guess I didn't tweet that one out. I must have passed over that one. Here's
No,
one
but
though.
like I said, we knew about it the whole time, man, and it finally all got leaked out, and dude got busted.
Here's something that's kind of ironic from the anti-media. Massive air wars in Iraq, Syria, and Afghanistan are just the beginning of the story for the United States military, with regular strikes in place like Somalia and Yemen, and constant risks of the U.S. launching a massive war with North Korea at any moment. That's a lot of bombs being dropped, and mostly in open-ended conflicts. A year ago, the Pentagon was warned that it was forced to raid its worldwide stockpile of bombs because they were using so many. Now they're running through those two and are using smart bombs faster than they can buy them from arms makers in the U.S. That's a big problem for the Pentagon because, as already the biggest consumer of bombs on the planet by far, there isn't exactly a ton of leftover capacity for them to draw on. That makes the U.S. air wars literally unsustainable at current levels because there just aren't enough bombs on the planet to supply them. Pacific Commander Admiral Harry Harris. Are you kidding me? His name is Harry Harris. Harry Harris told Congress that the bombs are absolutely critical, citing the war in the Middle East and also for use against North Korea. While this is probably to mean more funding for bombs, it's not at all clear that even those huge U.S. arms makers can produce all the bombs that the Pentagon intends to use, let alone enough to keep the pace at which it is already using them. Plus, if the U.S. is using up all the bombs, How are you going to sell them to overseas clients?
So we're going to go to war and run out of ammunition.
Like Saudi Arabia? I think we're already out of ammunition, man. I think we talk a lot of bullshit.
Well, I think they can just dip into how many hollow point bullets? What was it, like 200 million hollow point bullets that they got?
Well, yeah, for the ground war. But if they do that, then they're not going to have enough ammunition to kill off the Americans.
I'm just talking
they can just dip into their surplus supply that they've got going on.
I'm just talking about bombs and stuff. We ever have a huge world war, we're going to be out of bombs before anybody else.
Oh, yeah, but then we can just back up and use our rail gun, right?
Yeah, that works so well.
Or the F-35 fighter.
Well, they ain't going to have no bombs on them either because we'll have to go to our nukes.
Right.
And we will. Once we run out of conventional munitions, we go right to the nukes.
It'd be really nice just to be done with it and stop it all.
Oh, it'll get stopped all right in a big mushroom cloud.
Yeah, well, I hope they don't do anything to America. I hope that we just stop it.
That's how it'll all end, in a big mushroom cloud or a heart attack, either way.
Right. Here's another story, since we're talking about shit going on overseas or whatever. The Saudis now fully own America's biggest oil refinery. All of my peeps down in Texas, check this out. Saudi Aramco has become a 100% owner of Port Arthur, an oil refinery in Texas. Port Arthur has the capacity of 600,000 barrels a day, making it the biggest in North America. The kingdom's national oil company previously owned 50% of the refinery before acquiring the full stake from Royal Dutch Shell on Monday. Complicated relations between the two companies forced them to separate their assets. On Monday, Shell announced the divorce was complete. Saudis also acquired 24 distribution terminals, Aramco said in a statement. The Saudi firm also got the exclusive right to sell Shell-branded gasoline and diesel in Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, Washington, D.C., and the eastern half of Texas, and the majority of Florida. The Gulf Coast Refinery Agreement was signed less than 2 months after the U.S. President Donald Trump met with Deputy Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman at the White House. This meeting is considered a historical turning point in relations between both countries, and which has passed through a period of divergence of views on many issues. In November of 2016, the then President-elect Donald Trump warned he could halt imports from Saudi Arabia and other Arab countries if they do not send ground troops to fight Islamic State. Talk shit, Bubba. Keep talking your shit. They can shut off fucking gasoline to the entire country.
Yeah.
Yes, but Royal Dutch Shell's claim to fame is keeping World War II going because they were the sole provider of unlimited fuel to the Nazis.
Both sides.
Unfettered access to unlimited fuel the entire time because they could have ended the war.
Yeah.
Yep, that's true.
But you
That's absolutely true.
see the position that Shell just sold out in the United States, right? You see.
They sold out the United States before World War II.
Well, yeah,
they've
but I'm
been
just saying.
selling
I'm
us
just
out
talking
for a
about this
long
particular
time.
story right here. I'm just talking about this particular story. You people see the position that the Sauds have in the United States now. This isn't probably half of the shit they own in the United States, but this is major. A couple of years ago, I did a report on the Chinese government bought the biggest fucking port on the West Coast in California.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
They're taking strategic pieces of our country right out from underneath our noses. And our government is selling it out from underneath us. I just want you people to understand how big a story this really is. It's not getting a whole lot of play. I didn't hear anything about it on the mainstream media. Unfortunately, I have to watch TV now because my mom likes to watch TV. So I just want you people to understand this is a very major story right here. Very major. We'll see where it goes. Go ahead, David.
What else here? You know, like I said, I'm questioning this nuclear test a little, Kim's doing, you know, because they told us like a week or two ago you're supposed to, this, you know, the site was ready to go. Now they're coming out all over your mainstream media saying, oh, their satellite images are showing new digging happening. They came out with that last night. There's new digging happening now at those sites. So, he's going to do this nuke. And it's like, you told me 2 weeks ago it was ready to go, and now you're telling me he's still digging. And, that it's kind of weird the way this is happening. I think they're making up this nuke test, man, because I don't know if they're trying to frame the dude or what, because they told us a week ago he had it ready to go. And now they're saying that he doesn't and he's still digging.
Yeah. Pumping water again.
Yeah, and they said they're still pumping water or whatever in or out of the cave and more digging, so this nuke test is still imminent.
Well, I mean, the guys had to take a break and play a volleyball game.
Well, and then the volleyball, and they're saying, oh, that's just a distraction. He knows we're looking at him, so they set that stuff up on purpose.
Right.
Which maybe he does. Maybe he's just being a smart ass, saying, get a look at this. And if I'd been him, I probably would have been bent over and had my pants down to my ankles and had everybody moon the camera at one time.
Or a big rock sculpture on the ground. It looks like a finger flipping off the camera on the satellite. That would have been cool. Anyway.
So, it's questionable. Now they're saying that there's still a lot of work going on there, so he's still preparing for this nuke test. Maybe he's going to do a bigger one now. Who knows?
Everybody stays scared to death.
I want to talk about something here at home. My kid's getting ready to go to the prom, senior prom.
I saw you post this in Facebook earlier. Go ahead. They're making the kids take a breathalyzer before they can even come in the door. I don't think.
Maybe I've been out of high school too long. I graduated in 84. In 84, there wasn't no breathalyzer. I don't understand how. But, to me, here in Fargo, fentanyl is running rampant. A guy just died in his apartment. 3 guys, they found him laying unresponsive in their apartment. Mm-hmm. One died at the apartment. One got rushed off in an ambulance. They were making it liquid form, and it spilled all over their apartment, and they died with, a gruesome death, that one guy. But, they want to test kids for alcohol at the door. Why don't they test kids for heroin or fentanyl? That seems to be the thing that everybody's doing now, not drinking.
Oh, because the cops won't supply them with those drug tests, with those immediate drug tests. They give them the breathalyzer, though. They give them the breathalyzer to use.
I told my kid, I wouldn't go. Because he's pissed off about it.
There's going to be cops standing right there and probably administering the test, if you want to be honest about it. The cop will probably be administering the test, and as soon as one of them comes up drunk, they're going to fucking haul them off in cuffs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and call their parents and everything else.
School to prison. The school to prison program. They probably got some open beds in the county that they need to fill.
I told my kid, and he's pissed about it. He's like, I don't know if I'm going to go now. And I'm like, I don't blame you. I wouldn't. I'd tell them to stick their breathalyzer up their fucking ass. They're just, trying to prepare you for all their illegal road stops, I guess, coming down the road, when you're driving. But I don't agree with that. They never had anything like that when I was in high school, but I know times have changed.
You really got to question whether or not they have the authority to do it.
Yeah, that's my whole thing, Jimmy. Do they have the authority to do this?
Because that's a serious invasion of privacy. If they were blatantly drunk, tripping up the stairs, coming up, trying to go into prom or whatever, then I could see, doing something about it. If they were, puking all over somebody or, I could see it. But if they're just walking up the stairs and arm in arm and wanting to go to the dance and blah, 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 you shouldn't be harassing everybody that walks to the fucking door.
That's harassment.
They're teaching them submission. You will submit to what we tell you to do, and you won't question our authority. That's exactly what they're trying to do. Yep.
Complete police state stuff.
That's exactly what they're trying to do.
I was pissed when I read the rules because they sent me the rules in an email today. They want the parents to see the rules. I'm like, well, who made these rules? I never got a questionnaire on the fucking rules for prom. No one asked me if I wanted a breathalyzer there or not.
Right. Why don't you send them a little letter back that says, who do you people think you are? What kind of authority do you think you have over our children?
And, I pay these cocksuckers, man. They're
you
telling me they're going to make the rules.
You people are public servants. They're just like the cops. They're just like the firefighters. Teachers are paid off of our tax money. The schools are built off of our tax money. They're public servants. I would question that authority. I would call the police department.
Prom tickets before this was announced.
If I were you, I'd call the police department and ask them, where does the school get the authority to utilize a breathalyzer? Ask them who gave them that authority. Did the police department give them that authority? Because I don't think they've got that authority either.
I'd like to. I will shoot Jimmy. I will. I'll talk to him. I'm pissed about this. I was
It
pissed.
says, I read a story a couple days ago, somewhere here in the U.S., cops went into a school and held the entire school and searched every one of 900 children looking for drugs and didn't find any. 900 kids were held at a school until each and every one of them were searched. And the cops didn't find bunk. And the parents in that town, I can't remember where it was. I'm sure that story's back on my Twitter feed if you guys
Yeah, I
wanna
remember
look back.
hearing that story myself.
Yeah,
too.
the parents in that town are fucking furious. These cops, man, I'm telling you what, I know a lot of you people got police in your families and, you know, brothers and cousins or whoever the fuck. I'm telling you, there are certain places of this country where the cops are out of control and it's spreading. It's
Well, put it
spreading.
this way: they fired our police chief about 6 months ago, and they won't tell everybody why. Now another cop is under investigation.
Corruption.
They won't tell us why. There's
Corruption.
2 cops now within 6 months that are being kicked off the force, and people want to know why. And the police say we can't tell you that.
Bullshit. You're public servants, motherfucker. Tell me. I pay your salary. Answer my question. You're
They won't
obligated
tell us
to.
why they got rid of the police chief. They just said they had differences, and the same with this new cop that they're put on suspension. I want to know what these cops are doing, good or bad. I want to know.
Yeah, it's either corruption or they're trying to stop the corruption.
Yeah, exactly.
So
But I don't agree with that breathalyzer stuff, and I am going to be talking to some people because I was pissed.
yeah, I
after I
definitely
read that.
the first thing I'd do is call the police department and ask them. You know, I heard that these people at prom here in the town are going to start using a breathalyzer at the door. Who gives them that authority to be able to do that?
And especially making us buy the tickets before we're told that, because now they're saying, well, if you don't like it, then you don't go and you lose your money.
Yeah, bullshit. These people are
No.
accountable, man. There's consequences for your actions. These people are accountable. You know, I say that all the time too. These fucking people that run these banks that are running the whole fucking place, you know, that are running roughshod over every country on this planet. The people that own those banks have names and addresses. Just saying. You know, pitchforks and torches and shit ain't out of the question.
But then, the police station's getting out of control, man.
Yep. They are.
When you start seeing it in Fargo, it's just running rampant in your bigger cities.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. These big cities, you know, the police departments are out of control.
Yeah.
What's the where did they shoot that one kid on the ground? Or wasn't a kid? I guess he was a guy, but he was unarmed. They tackled him in the parking lot of some
That Alton Sterling, where
Alton
they just let
Sterling.
those 2 cops
There you go. They're going to let the cops go. They're
Yeah,
not going to
both
charge
of
them with
them.
anything. They're not going to charge them with
Both of
anything.
I was in Baton Rouge, I think.
Yeah. So they're expecting a riot to break out in that town as soon as that comes out.
In that video, you could see that, the video of that they shot him right in the chest multiple times.
He was laying on the fucking ground with 2 cops on his back.
Yeah. Right on.
Stop resisting. I watched
Shot
a
him
video
like 3
clip.
times in the chest.
I watched a video clip just a couple days ago of a traffic stop or something, and a cop is standing with an AR-15 drawn down on some civilian, and the civilian takes 2 steps towards him, and they weren't 10 feet apart, and that guy puts 3 rounds out of that AR in that guy's chest and kills him. Said he feared for his life because the guy was running at him full speed. You could see on the tape, he wasn't. He took 2 steps. He wasn't even moving aggressively. He was talking to him with his hands up like this, and he took a couple of steps towards the cop, and the cop pumped 3 rounds in him. If you are that fucking scared of your job, dude, go be a Walmart greeter. You don't have any business carrying a badge and a gun. If civilians scare the shit out of you that bad, you have no business being a cop. Fuck off and do something else. But that's what they're teaching them at these academies, man. They're teaching them that everybody you run up on is a potential criminal, is a potential terroristic threat, and might stop you from going home at tonight. So that's why you see guys pull their guns on a fucking motorcycle coming up to a stoplight and chasing people down for no reason whatsoever. You know, They initiate.
No.
I saw a clip of a cop walking into a school. He was a school security officer, right? Kid sitting in a chair in the office, getting ready to talk to the principal or something. Complain about something, I think. The kid was complaining about something in the school, and they didn't want to hear it, so they called the security to come take him out of there. And he literally picked the kid up out of the chair and body slammed him. Knocked a couple of teeth out. Just, it's ridiculous, man.
Well, there was that cop the other day, I forgot where it was, picked up this 90-pound college girl and slammed her on the ground. He was like a big old cop, too.
Yeah, slammed her on her face. I remember seeing that, too. She was all dressed up, too, in high heels and a short skirt. Was no threat whatsoever. No threat.
That was horrible, man.
No threat. But if you challenge their authority, they're going to make you pay.
Well, it's just like on the airlines now where they're dragging your ass, so.
A couple of these CEOs went before Congress. A couple of these airline CEOs went before Congress, I think it was today or yesterday, and had to promise Congress that they weren't going to beat up passengers anymore. Now, look, if you live in a country where your airlines have to promise not to beat your ass, there is something wrong with your country.
I think the same way with that, man. I'm like, when you got a fear of getting on an airplane, you're going to get your ass kicked by a cop. Something's wrong, man.
Lance, chime in on this, man. You got to have something to say about this whole debacle.
Yeah. I mean, they've been out of control for too long. I mean, I saw that video, the girl in the high heels, and couldn't believe it. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was in shock.
That could have been your daughter, dude.
Very well could have been.
This is why I'm so glad I never had kids in my life, man, because I swear to Christ, if a teacher or somebody put their hands on me, I'd be in prison because I would literally come unglued on the people. I would, you know? Shit. Anyway, what about the whole airplane thing?
You know, I saw the interview, or I saw the thing where they were in Congress.
Yep.
And I'm not lying. If you watched a bunch of it, I mean, you saw that guy, Nunez, or whoever, not Nunez, but whoever the United one was, said that overbooking is there to help you.
Bullshit.
And I'm like,
it's all about profits, man.
I just can't. I couldn't.
You guys have a
fathom what they were saying.
You guys have a fucking
Yeah,
computer
how is
system.
overbooking supposed to be helpful?
No, you have a computer system that tells you how many people are on that plane, right? When
Well,
the
and
plane
that's
is
what
full,
the night-
you
all
stop
the
selling
night
seats.
Shows are having a blast with it. They're like, well, let's count the seats and then sell that many tickets. How fucking hard is that?
Right. Oh, the people
'Cause they
don't
paid
show
for the
up, and then
seat,
blah blah
and
blah
they
blah
don't
blah.
show up. Who fucking cares? They paid for the seat.
Well, no, but then the airline loses money.
But if they paid for the seat, they didn't lose any money.
Well, yeah, true. I mean, you know, if you
Exactly.
cancel the flight within a certain amount of time, you don't get your money back. You know, they make a huge fucking profit buying their gas at bulk prices too when it's really low, and then charging you as the prices go up at the pump.
But I
Charging
mean, the
more for your
rule
tickets.
needs to be if you get on the plane, you ain't getting off.
Right. If you've already paid for the ticket and given the ticket at the gate and already are in your seat, there's no way they should be able to pull you off that plane. No way.
I agree.
Yeah, because I've never had them ask me when I was on the plane. When I'm at the airport, it's always at the gate that they're trying to get people to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Never when they're already on the plane.
Mm-mm.
I've never ever had it happen. And
I've had it happen in the
you know,
gate,
like-
but I've never had it happen on the plane.
Oh, man, let me see. I'm going back here through my...
But sadly, every time it's ever happened to me, I had to be somewhere the very next day, or else I would have done it. It was up to $800 one time.
Right?
One time when we
They
were
opened it
like
up to
standing there
10,000
trying
now.
to get our baggage on the plane, at the last minute they were like, "Oh, wait a minute, you guys can't all have one carry-on. This group over here, of course, I was in that group. You've got to give us your carry-on luggage. We're going to stow it underneath." And I'm thinking, no, because I had expensive electronics and stuff in there. So I was like, no, I want to get my stuff out of my bag first. But yeah, that's the only problem I ever had. So then I had a bunch of stuff in my hands, but I got it off before they took it.
That's good.
Yeah, because I knew it would disappear. I knew it would. Expensive stuff is going to disappear.
Oh yeah, they steal cash, gold, iPads, Rolex watches.
That's why I wouldn't give them my bag right away. I had to hold on to it for a minute and get my stuff out.
400 plus TSA agents have been arrested for everything from sex crimes to theft to attempted murder.
Sure.
To yeah, it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yep.
right. What else you got over there, David?
Oh, see, this came out tonight. Find it here. North Korea says Cuba's leaders show solidarity with Pyongyang, an anti-U.S. front. So after Obama opened up pleasantries to this dude, he turns around and he takes the side of North Korea, which doesn't surprise me, man. They're communists.
Uh-huh.
But it says Cuban leader Raul Castro Ruiz has voiced solidarity with North Korea in their joint front against the United States, Pyongyang state media said Thursday. It says the president of the Council of State of Cuba made the remark Monday when he met with this head of this North Korean Union's group who visited Cuba. And it shows them shaking hands and everything. And so Cuba's like, we got your back against the United States.
Oh, another Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah, that's what came to my mind right away.
Yeah, you guys remember those pictures with Obama and Michelle over
Michael.
there?
His
doing
name's
the
Michael.
Smiley thing in the pictures with the Cubans.
Yeah. You guys remember what, a year and a half ago, Russia was over there re-upping all their old bases and stuff. They turned Big Ear back on and pointed it, back toward the United States so they could monitor all of our air traffic and everything else. That place has been up and running for well over a year. Russia has had all of their stuff updated.
So what do y'all think about Trump coming out and praising Little Kim and calling him a smart cookie and saying that he would love to meet with him and stuff?
That's the only reason that I thought that's the reason that Kim turned on China. That when Trump came out and said all that shit, I was like, they got this fucking cat in their pocket. They got Little Kim in their pocket. They can say whatever they want. They can do whatever they want. This is all just a fucking game.
I think it's all a game.
Either that
That's outrageous for him to say that and to be able to keep a straight face if it were not a game.
Well, it's either that or Trump's got some kind of mental break going on.
I think it's a mental thing myself.
I got to tell you guys something.
He thinks that he can just say pleasantries about some of these people in the world, and all your analysts say this ain't going to have an effect on Little Kim. They said, he's not going to give up his nukes. That's his money in the bank. That's what keeps him from getting attacked from the United States or those nuclear weapons. And that's, I don't ever see Little Kim, and I don't like the guy, but I don't ever see him using his nukes offensively. I think they're purely defensive in case someone hits him, in case the United States gets some balls and we try to come in there and take his country like we tried to, with Libya and Iraq and
they see what we've done.
Little Kim sees all this stuff. And so
agree.
He's not going to sit down with Trump and say, all right, dude, I'm going to give up my nukes. That ain't going to happen because nukes keeps his regime in power. China isn't going to crush them so hard because China doesn't want the regime to collapse because then China would have to deal with the fallout.
Right.
And they don't want to deal with that. They don't want all the refugees. They don't want to have to worry about running another country. They got enough people.
They're trying to find 2,000 translators right now.
Yeah.
China is on the lookout for 2,000 people that speak Chinese and North Korean so that they can translate at the border. So
exactly right.
That this is imminent. This war is imminent. It's going to happen. It's going
China's
to
been
happen.
for the past 2 weeks. It came out today too that they've been going through the North or North Korean embassy or South Korea or whatever. No, is it South Korea or whatever? Someone's getting their people out of their country. I think it's
China. China's told all the Chinese residents that are living in North Korea to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yep. So they're prepping for this. They know it's hitting. They know
the
it's
THAAD's up and running. After we were told it was going to take until the end of the year, they got it up and running within 3 days.
Yeah, well, the THAAD system is just about as I don't trust it. Just like I didn't trust the Minuteman you know.
You know what's funny is Trump tried to tell him, well, you owe us $1 billion now. And in South Korea is not only do we not want this here, we're not going to pay for something we didn't want. You told us you were putting it here, and we had no say in it, which in a way we did. We told them we're going to set this right here. You know, you want our protection on the DMZ and all this other shit still, we're going to set this missile system here, and you're going to pay us for it. But then South Korea bitched about it big time, and all of a sudden
It's $1 billion fucking dollars. They want $1 billion for it.
$1 billion for that thing. You know, all
And
we're
it's
doing
untested.
is setting up an
What, the last time they
anti-missile
tried to
shield
use
against China. That's what it's for, and it's so we can spy on them. And China's wise to this too. China's pissed about it. They're like, we know you're going to use that to spy on us.
They came out with THAAD after the Patriots fell on their face because the software sucked and they couldn't hit a fucking broadside of a barn. So they came up with this THAAD system. Now, just so you guys know, THAAD has never been used in combat. It's never been tested in combat, ever.
Never.
So,
but we want to charge them $1 billion for it. And then, like I said, South Korea bitched, and all of a sudden Trump came out because I guess this talk, but putting it there came when Obama was in office, and Obama basically made the deal with them here that we won't charge you for. Whereas when Trump came in and Trump wanted to charge you for it, South Korea's like, we made this deal with Obama. We didn't make this with you.
Right.
And Obama said we didn't have to pay for this. So now all of a sudden Trump's like, well, all right. You know, everything's good as long as you let us keep it there. But you know, South Korea's got their elections coming up May 9th, and the liberal's going to win. And he wants to sit down and have talks with the North. He wants some reunification with the North. He wants to get their Kaesong, industrial complex going again. That's been stopped for over a year now, going again north and south. And so, it's going to be interesting what's going to happen between now and the next 6 days, because if this liberal president gets to take over South Korea, he doesn't want war. He wants that THAAD gone. He wants a lot of our troops out of that country.
Because he's gay.
They're saying this new generation of South Koreans don't like us like the old generation did.
No.
They said they're sick of seeing our guys there.
We haven't done shit for them, except rape their
There's
women.
a new generation of Earthlings that don't like us.
Well, yeah. Don said the U.S. sounds like the mafia. They are the mafia. Don.
Yeah, we are. We truly are.
The United States government is nothing but a bank with a military.
Yep.
That's all they are. Or a collection of banks called the Federal Reserve that has a military to back up their shit.
You're exactly right with that. We go into these countries and we tell them, you're going to put this here. And Russia and China has been the only two big nations to stand up to us and say, no, you're not coming here, man.
Right.
They developed their nukes and they got on par with us, past us in a lot of aspects now. And Putin and China know that they've got some weight. And we're not as strong as we used to be, man.
No.
We're not. We're 240, going on 241-year-old man now. It's...
Yeah, most dictatorships or whatever you want to call them, I don't know, monarchies, which is what we're trying to be, the empire of the earth, the United Empire of Earth. Most empires only last about 200 years, so we're pushing our luck, extending it out to almost 250 so far. So, and currencies unbacked by anything other, like gold, unbacked currencies, they usually only last about 40 to 50. And we're way past that one too. So
20 trillion in debt.
Right.
You can't reverse that. I don't care who Trump thinks he is. You're not going to put it. You're not going to.
He wants to spend. He wants to spend $1 trillion this year on infrastructure.
Yeah, and he didn't get his wall money either.
No, Mexico's going to pay for it, right? Right.
And they said they're not paying for it either. They're saying that this new spending bill that just got passed. I was watching CNN the other night, and they said that basically he got extra money, all right, but for border security, not for the border wall. Basically, beef up what we already have there.
Which is what? Which is what? That's something that's been cut into by 2/3 by Obama. Didn't Obama
Yep.
get rid of 2/3 of the border guards?
Yeah, that's true.
And so
So
that's
what?
the money
He's gonna-
he got was to basically get a few more border security guards, patch
Yeah.
the wall up that we already have, but he didn't get no new money for a new wall, so that wall's not going to be built anytime soon.
No. But they're going to be able to hire back to the amount that they had before Obama started cutting everybody, which was still unfathomable how many people were down there, how few people are on the southern border.
Yeah, they're going to be able to bring back.
Yeah.
There's none on the northern border.
No.
There's places on the northern border going up into Canada where you don't even have to see anybody. You can just drive
North
down the
Dakota is
road.
one of them.
Yeah. There might be a telephone booth where you can stop and call and tell them, hey, I'm going over to the U.S. for a little while. I'll be back in an hour. But other than that, you don't have to check in. Cameras that don't work at the crossings.
I know on our northern border we fly drones because of Minot Nuclear Air Force Base,
Right.
and we fly drones from one end to the other. But there's still Somalians sneaking
There's-
out of here and going into Canada now that they're catching.
There's
from.
huge stretches of border up in Canada that run along the Washington State and Montana and Idaho, and there's nobody. The only thing that crosses the border is logging roads. Nobody. There's been recorded incidences of guys flying around in ultralights, and they cross over to the U.S. and land at a little airstrip in somebody's backyard or whatever, have a fucking weekend, and get back in their plane and fly back over to Canada. Nobody even fucking knew they left.
Wow.
Trump pissed Trudeau off because he wants to make
How
him
many-
pay 20% more on lumber coming out of Canada. He wants to make him pay more for milk coming out of Canada.
How many people do you think come over on boats in the Great Lakes and never say shit to anybody?
Oh yeah, happens all the time.
All the fucking time.
You know, they say there's just as much coming across the north as there is the south. You know.
Dawn says some kids walk back and forth across the border to go to school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, this
Shoot,
this
if you're in
fucking
San
country's a joke,
Diego,
man.
you're down at the lowest park, right there at the very end of California. I mean, right on the other side of the gate is Mexico. I mean, right there.
And everybody wants to. Oh, San Diego's just
On
so
the beach.
beautiful, man. It's just so beautiful.
Like
down
right
there.
there.
Yeah, right.
They have
That's where
signs. They have signs. You could be driving along, and there are signs.
pick up
You know,
hitchhikers.
warning signs where they show people on the signs. They just have little cutout pictures of human beings crossing the road. So you're supposed to take warning and heed and be safe because there could be humans crossing the roads down there.
Don't hit the immigrants.
Right.
Don't pick up hitchhikers.
That's exactly what it was. Seriously. It was like, oh my goodness, that's a real warning sign. Don't hit the humans.
Don't hit the illegals coming across.
Don't
Human
hit the don't
beings.
hit the Democratic voters.
Of course they showed the little children and everything. Uh-oh.
Just
saying.
throw some bottles of water out.
Oh God.
Okay,
Well, you can
we got
imagine being a regular American person just with a ranch or whatever out there in Texas or wherever, Arizona, and just having illegals just coming right up through your backyard. You know, you would have, like, that would be terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see this story today? It says President Obama considered pursuing a homosexual relationship when he was in college after meeting an openly gay professor with whom he shared a friendship beyond the classroom.
Are
It
you
says President
fucking
Obama
kidding me,
considered
man?
pursuing a gay relationship according to a new book, Rising Star, The Making of Barack Obama. While at Occidental College in Los Angeles, Obama in 1980, he had a close relationship with openly gay professor Lawrence Golden. Golden was funny, engaging, and wore these really bright yellow pants and open-toed sandals. Obama wrote to his first intimate girlfriend a few years later that he thought about and considered gayness. But Obama ultimately decided that a same-sex relationship would be less challenging and demanding than developing one with the opposite sex.
So he had to
This
get
is-
with a tranny.
So he did.
So he got
did
with a tranny.
eventually.
Michael Obama.
He's called her Michael like 3 times.
Oh,
And the
she
person
is a
that's
man. That's a
writing-
man. Go look at her, man. Just look.
She's a
She's
man.
buff as
I
fuck.
think she's a man. She's a beard. They call her a beard.
Well, the person that's writing this book has got a lot of credentials behind him. He's a Pulitzer Prize winning biographer that's writing this 1,000-page book. So he's not some schlub that's making this shit up.
Right. Well, see, this is coming out because they're prepping everybody for the reveal that he is gay. That
I've always knew he was gay. I always thought he was gay.
But that's what they're doing. They're prepping everybody in the country for it, right?
Yeah, that's what they're doing, Jimmy. They're prepping everybody. They're making it clear because there's going to be a big revelation.
That's why he turned the White House rainbow colors and everything else.
Yep.
And remember that when he turned up a rainbow pride or whatever that laws they got, and he was always trying to push transgender shit.
Yep.
Deep, pussifying our military out there. I always knew this dude was gay. He was trying to push his gayness off on everybody else.
Did you see the way he threw the fucking?
Are committing suicide because they're getting raped.
The way he threw out the first pitch that one time. Oh my God, man, that was just fucking embarrassing.
Oh God,
that was embarrassing.
So light in the loafers.
I don't believe that he was really married to her, man, or him, or whatever it was, or.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they're married, but those kids ain't theirs. If you look at Malia and whatever the fuck the other chick's name is, the other kid, they don't look nothing like either.
Sasha.
Yeah, Sasha. You would know.
Just like those girls.
They don't
One's
look
like an OBGYN, isn't it?
Neither of them look like Michelle, and neither of them look like Barry.
No, they don't look like either one of them.
The little one, the youngest one, looks like the mom, the best friend's mom, the best friend of them, whatever she is. And then the older one looks like the dad. There's like this black couple that's friends with them.
Yeah.
And they look just like that couple. Look just like
them. There's stories of him in Chicago. There's stories of there's his the rumor mill follows that motherfucker wherever he goes. It does. And I'm saying they're rumors because nothing's been verified yet or not, but I mean you could just connect the fucking dots, people. It ain't that hard. It ain't that hard.
Everything was made. I studied up on the Obamas in Chicago and in Illinois and everything, and the house, for instance, that they had.
Joan Rivers lost her life over telling the fucking world that Michael's a fucking tranny.
When she said that, she was in a pissy mood that day. Remember?
Yeah, and I think that Clint Eastwood said, when the truth comes out at the end of the day, Barack Obama is going to be the biggest joke that was ever played on the United States.
He already is. He got left on the airplane. He had to go out the back door. I mean, that was ridiculous. He had to go out the back door. Oh, my God.
This country's a fucking joke, man.
It already is. It's already. I mean, look at it. Look what Obama. I mean, he's gay. I don't think she's a she. I think she really is a man. And,
listen to this. Here's a story that came out today, too. I just found this on WorldNet Daily. Now, you guys can take WorldNet Daily with a grain of salt if you want to, but they really hit some home runs every once in a while, so I pay attention to them anyway. An FBI translator with a top-secret security clearance traveled into Syria in 2014 and married a key ISIS operative that she was assigned to investigate. This is a story from CNN, by the way, so... Lance, you might.
Yeah, it's been all over the news. I've read it even.
The rogue employee, Daniela Green, lied to the FBI about where she was going and warned her new husband that he was under investigation, according to court records. Green's saga, which has never been publicized, exposed an embarrassing breach of national security at the FBI, an agency that's made its mission rooting out ISIS sympathizers across the country. So just the hypocrisy knows no bounds. It knows no bounds when it comes to these fucking people.
That's an ISIS sympathizer. She married the guy.
It's story after story after story after story after story about how corrupt this fucking government is, and people are still paying attention to everything that they say. Like, I don't know. It's embarrassing. It really is embarrassing.
And nobody's paying attention to the pedophilia.
Not anybody that matters. Not anybody that matters.
Imagine it. Just think about it. If you were one of those kids right now, you'd be like in a little cell, and it's just a horrible, horrible reality.
Yeah.
And nobody thinks about those kids. It's like, Jesus.
And then you got Flint, Michigan, threatening to kick out 8,000 families, threatening to kick 8,000 families out of their home because they're not paying for their poison water. They have gotten over $1 billion.
Nestle also gets money from water from Flint,
from Michigan's
They give
water source too.
so far the Flint government has gotten $1 billion to try to fix this debacle that they've got up there with the lead, and they haven't done anything. Where the fuck's all that money at? They haven't done any. They haven't fixed the water at all. They haven't even started fixing the infrastructure. I just don't get it, man. The people that were in charge aren't going to jail. A bunch of lower people are, some lackeys or whatever that work for the government. That some of those guys are going to jail, but nobody that was in charge of the shit, right? They all just did their little public apologies and walked away, and yeah. But now, if you don't pay your fucking bill, man, we're gonna kick you out of your house. But I own this home. Nah, you're out. Sorry. We poisoned your kid, but hey, get out.
That's out of control, man.
It is.
Talk about out of control, Venezuela.
Oh my God, yeah, there was fucking.
A story just came out now. It shows this armored car plowing through this crowd, and 300 protesters were injured in it. Fucking military armored car just plowed through these protesters. They're in complete chaos. I mean, it's a complete
They're
failed
starving.
Yeah.
They've been
Well,
starving
it's a
for
failed
months.
state now. I mean, it's complete chaos. Maduro doesn't have control really anymore.
No.
It's just
They
people.
ate the zoo animals like 9 weeks ago, 10 weeks ago.
Because they're starving to death. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they said their GDP went up like 800% overnight.
They changed the currency overnight.
Yep.
They dropped the $100 notes that everybody had in their fucking homes and said that they weren't going to take them anymore. They were dropping a new currency on everybody, and then they didn't have enough of the new currency printed for people to turn in their old currency. That place is beyond a mess.
And what's funny is Iran, and this has been known for years, at least 10 years that I've been doing this. Iran has a missile base in Venezuela with missiles pointed at us at our east coast from there that can hit Florida, they think. It's still been debate on it. But we know for a fact that this missile base is there. And this was before Maduro when that other cat was running the place. But, he had signed a deal with Iran to build this missile base, and he let Iran do it. And Iran has ballistic missiles that are pointed at us that it's claimed can hit Florida. And so it'll be interesting with this going on there, how that plays out.
Right.
And but they're complete chaos, man. I mean, it's a failed state. I've been watching all kinds of videos coming out of there, and it's just everybody, the government's losing more and more control every day.
And then you got Yemen. Everybody in Yemen starving to death too. Just simply because they're being bombed by Saudi Arabia that we fund and sell missiles to and give planes to, and they come over here and buy up all of our gas stations and shit. So yeah,
Who knows if Soros isn't behind this
depopulation
shit
going on.
Venezuela,
No, they think that he's trying to crash the Polish government. I saw a story about that today. They want to know if George Soros is playing around in Poland trying to topple their government. I don't know how that's going to pan out. I'm going to do a little more digging into that and probably
Hey, Jimmy.
get into more of that on Saturday. Yeah, go ahead.
Jimmy, was it Denmark or was it Poland that airplane went down and all those people crashed?
When?
Just recently. It was something I just heard about recently.
You
There's
have
a
to send
bunch
me a
of
link to that.
dignitaries that crashed it was either Poland or Denmark.
I don't know. You'll have
I
to send me a link on that. I don't think that came across my wire.
I never heard nothing. I don't know.
Oh,
I'll check the
I
Twitter
thought
feed
I
and
heard
stuff.
something about
There
it.
was a plane in Cuba that went down now the other day. Had some dignitaries on it, 30-something people on it.
In Cuba?
Were any of them from
Yeah, it
Poland
went
or
down,
Denmark?
went over and down in Cuba, and it had some Cuban officials on it that got killed.
I didn't hear that one either.
Yeah, that came out the other day.
No, it was something else.
See if you can find it. Send it to me. Maybe we'll go over that on Saturday too.
Okay.
Because I'm definitely
Yeah,
going to look
I
into
thought
this whole Soros
maybe-
Poland thing. I want to
Yeah.
know what he's playing around over there. Because that cat's he lost his ass in that Democratic election. I'm telling
Good.
you what, Soros lost a fucking ton of money in that. Because he
Yeah,
wanted
but him
Hillary in.
losing a ton of money is like him going to a poker game and losing his
Yeah, but
ass
you don't
in a poker
understand.
game.
You don't understand. Soros's ego is huge, man. It's bigger than Trump's ego, right? So when he
Yeah.
gets his ass handed to him like that, he's got a vendetta to settle. And so he's going to go try to play wherever he can play to get his money back and serve a hammer to somebody. So that's the
Good.
way
I
that's the
hope
way
he's
Soros
upset
plays.
with Hillary.
Yeah, and it's good to see a guy like that getting butt hurt. Just like it's good to see all these cats at Fox News having to tuck their tail and run away from this fucking sex scandal that's going on. You know, there's a lot of higher ups that are losing their cheese over that shit. So I'm glad some of these higher ups are getting their asses handed to them. Good on you. Keep it going. Keep it going. You know,
I agree.
I watched a video from Richie from Boston earlier today, and I've got to be honest with you guys, man. It's getting to the point where I don't want to do these shows anymore. It was everything that I could do to convince myself to come on tonight because I'm just fucking tired of doing these shows. I don't know why. I used to love it. I used to really love it. But I think that shit is getting so deep and thick now that I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I really don't. I want to get to the point where I don't have to get up in the morning and look at my computer any longer. I don't have to check up on the fucking news. I just want it all to go away. It's not going to, and I'm probably not going to stop doing these shows, but I just want to let you guys know where I'm at right now. You know, it's getting really, really difficult for me to come on here 2 times a week anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know if I need to change the format completely and just stop talking about news or whatever. I don't know. We'll see what pans out. But
It's hard, you know. With my health, I had to stop all mine, man, because I just didn't have it in me anymore.
oh, I feel you, and that's why I give you the floor that when I do, because I want to know exactly what you're talking to. I can't go on the other network and watch your shows. It doesn't log in for me.
I haven't had a show in a long time, and I probably won't be having it anymore, man.
Well, summer's coming up, so you can drop your Saturday shows again so we can live life like we did last summer.
Probably going to do that. And it's going to be tough, man, because I'm not going to do that for a few weeks because Charlie's not going to be able to come on Wednesdays. He's got classes for his he's taking his ham course. He's going to get his ham operator's license. So his classes
Yeah,
are
I
every
want to
Wednesday.
get that too.
His classes are every Wednesday, so he's not going to be around for a few weeks. So for a few more weeks, I'll still keep doing the Saturday show so we all get a chance to talk to Charlie. But yeah, it's getting ready to be put on hiatus for the summer. Are you going to make it over here this year, Lance? I mean, you talked about last year. You gave me all kinds of dates and stuff, and every one of them came and went and never saw hi.
Yeah, man, shit happened.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely want to.
All right.
It's finally supposed to be in the 80s here this week. Yeah.
I'll keep looking for you to come up the driveway.
Yeah, you'll know.
You need to take a vacation too, David. You need to come back down here and see some of the family.
Get some of that good fresh air.
Yeah, I don't have a way though, man.
We don't have too much fresh air around here anymore. They chemtrail the fuck out of us.
Well, yeah, there is that.
And if you guys go look
I was
at
watching an airplane this morning, by the way, and the trail dissipated as it was going over
that's awesome.
immediately.
That's a real plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what are we going to talk about for the last 15 minutes?
So what about yesterday and that I forgot what college was in Texas. That dude stabbed those people. There was like what, 8 of them, or was there 3, or how many were there? There was.
I thought it was a murder-suicide. I thought it was just 2.
No, that was another one today. That was a shooting. The stabbing happened yesterday.
Oh, that was the black dude they had stretched out over the hood of the squad car or whatever.
Yeah, I think
he
they
was running
stabbed
around
like 8 people.
Yeah, running around with a couple of knives in his hands or whatever.
And then this college kid, Texas just passed it where, if you have a concealed carry, you can have a gun in your college dorm room now. This college kid was walking next to one of these guys, and this dude come out of nowhere and stabbed him in the heart. So this dude took off to his dorm room. He had a concealed carry permit, grabbed his gun, came down, and got in that dude's face. And that dude dropped right there, and that's when the cops got there. If it wouldn't have been for that guy to go grab his gun, he would have stabbed some more people, man. And so this college campus carry just got passed like last year, man, and it's already paying dividends.
Was he yelling Allah Akbar or anything while he was stabbing people?
I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Well, that must have been a real incident then. Otherwise, they'd have made a big news story out of it if it was a false flag. You know.
You know, and then, like I said, you had that one today where that dude did a murder-suicide on that college campus.
Yep.
Over there in Texas, and there was a video of someone filming, when it was going down inside the room when they were hiding, and the cops got there. I'd be scared shitless come out of that room. The cops yelling, "Who's in this room? Come out! Put your hands!" And the two college kids are in there like, "Dude, we were just hiding out in here, man. We have nothing to." These cops yelling at them and stuff. I'm like, you already been through some traumatic shit. Now these cops are making it even more traumatic. Keep your hands in the air.
Yeah, you got to worry about them shooting you in the fucking back.
Yeah, it's what I thought, man. I thought, damn, you just went through this, and now you got these bully ass cops fucking yelling at you.
You know, when the cop got his badge and gun, they used to have to take an oath. I don't know if they do anymore or not. Now, I'm not talking about an oath to the Constitution. I'm talking about an oath to the police department that said that they were there to protect and serve, that they were to uphold the law, their life be damned. Their duty was to uphold the law and protect the citizens, even at the cost of their own life. Now, I don't think they make them take that oath anymore just because of the way they fucking act nowadays.
Yeah.
But that used to be in the oath that police officers took when they got their shield. Protect and serve. Not bully, not shoot my dog, not tase my kid. Protect and serve. I think that gets me hotter than all the bullshit that the administration's doing around the planet. You know, all the overseas crap, it's bad, and we're looking at World War III imminently. You know, that's pretty bad too. I know that's going to be real devastating and shit to everybody. But the out of control police officers in this town or in this country, that gets under my skin worse than anything I talk about. I think. I don't know why. I actually do know why. Because it shouldn't be happening at all, ever. And I used to know a lot of cops when I was a kid. My dad was the chief of the fire department in my hometown. So I knew a lot of them. I knew most of them by their first names. You know, small town guy, small town cop force, and I knew them all. You know, they weren't like that. They weren't like that. You know, when I was a kid, we get pulled over on a weekend with a trunk load of beer. 16, 17 years old. The cops were dump it out on the side of the road, boys, and go the fuck home. If I see you out here again tonight, I will take you to jail and call your dad. That's how they handled this, man. You know? Yeah.
Well, they just rather kill you than look at you.
Right. It's ridiculous. All right. 10 minutes left. Throw a story out there.
One of the couple big earthquakes up in the Canada, Alaska area the past couple days.
424 hours?
Nope.
400. Some of them were up in the 6-point something range. And there was a couple of them that were up in the state of Alaska, that were center state Alaska, that were pretty heavy duty too, or not heavy duty, but 4 points, 5 points. So yeah, the West Coast is shaking pretty good. Juan de Fuca. Every time I hear anything going on the West Coast, up around Oregon, Washington, Canadian border up there, Juan de Fuca. That plate right there has been ready to snap for 10 years, they've said. So, yeah.
Does that run into the San Andreas anywhere? Or what?
Well, way farther south. I mean, all those faults are connected somewhere or another. But the Juan de Fuca it's a subduction plate that's right off the coast of Oregon and Washington State. And they said when it snaps, it's going to be ugly. It's going to kill about 1 million people when the wave hits the shore. And it's so close to the shoreline that, they're going to have like 2 minutes of warning when it snaps. So, yeah, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, they've had major earthquake drills up there, I think, preparing for something like that.
Yep. Oh, yeah, there was some drill they ran last year, toward the end of last year, September, October time frame. Yep. I remember them running a drill up there. Olympic Shield or Olympic Guard or something like that, Olympia Guard or something, I don't know, something.
We're talking about Washington all the way to inland was going to be hit with that tsunami, man, a huge one.
Mm-hmm.
Some parts like parts of Washington snapping off, something crazy, man. I was like, damn.
Yeah, they had a bunch of stuff going off in that sound up there. A bunch of ship, trying to get evacuees out or whatever. I mean, they ran a big drill up there last year.
They just had a 5.3 just now in Peru.
Nice. That's a pretty good size one.
I think someone got hit with a big one too. Another one, big one the other day. I can't remember where. Was that over Portugal? Was it somewhere? Can't remember, man.
Dawn says she hopes the mountains stop that shit.
Mountains will probably be pushed back about 100 miles back.
Nah, the wave is only supposed to make it inland about a mile or something like that. But all those coastal cities and stuff, they were talking about one city was just going to be devastated. It'd probably take the entire city out of 60,000 people. So I don't know where all they were talking or whatever. I just kind of read just read over the report that I saw, the drill that they were doing up there. But yeah, it didn't look good, and the wave was going to propagate down the coast. So it didn't look good. Oh, shit. What else? Let's see. Jump over here to my Twitter and see if there's anything else I want to get out. Oh, here's a government-funded company that's burning through money like it grows on trees. You guys might have heard of this company, too. Traders were looking forward to today's black box earnings from Tesla, as it would be the first quarterly report that combined Tesla Motors operations with a full quarter from cash-bleeding monstrosity Solar City following the pair's merger, and would also provide much-needed information about the imminent launch of the Model 3, their new car that Tesla's coming out with. As usual, Elon Musk managed to fool those who were only focusing on the headline numbers, which were both good and bad. While Tesla missed earnings, reporting a non-GAAP fourth quarter loss of $1.33 per share, or $215 million. Far worse than the consensus estimate loss of 0.082 cents. The company reported a loss of $330 million. What the fuck happened there? Hey, nope, back. Doink. There we go. Sorry. I accidentally tapped on something I shouldn't have tapped on. Compared with the loss last quarter of $283 million. Let's see. Year earlier, this amount to a loss of over $13,000 for each of the 25,000 cars delivered in the quarter. So they lost $13,000 on every car that they sold. Now the good news. Tesla reported revenue of $2.7 billion, beating estimates of $2.56 billion. However, much of this beat that was thanks to the $214 million in energy generation and storage revenues. Now on to the automotive business, which was developed by a 69% increase in the sale of Model S sedans and Model X SUVs during the quarter compared to a year earlier. Tesla reported a first quarter delivery of 25,000 units, the most ever, and said that the company's first half delivery outlook remains unchanged and hopes to deliver 47 to 50,000 cars in line with prior expectations. The company also added that following amusing clarifications, we have seen a belief among some that the Model 3 is the newest and more advanced generation of the Model S. This is not correct. Blah, blah, blah. 5,000 vehicles, blah, blah, blah. Basically, what this story is getting down to is that they burnt through $620 million last year. Tesla lost $620 million. Now, this cat can't even run this business without running it into the ground, but he thinks he's going to take people to Mars, him and whoever the fuck else is trying to do the whole Mars shot. Whatever. No. Stick with the solar panels, man. The solar panels, trying to help people power their homes for next to nothing, or that's where your money's at. That's where you're going to make advances and be the good guy to the human population on this planet. We don't give a shit about your overpriced shitty cars that burn up. We don't give a shit about you trying to go to the fucking moon or whatever. Just stick with the solar shit, Elon. SpaceX, whatever. It's a fucking joke, man. If you guys really think that those rockets are coming back down to Earth and landing in the middle of the fucking ocean on a barge, I got news for you, people. That's bullshit. That is complete bullshit. Fuck. Okay, I'm done with that. Who's got the last story to go out on? We got 3 minutes.
I really don't have much more.
Really?
China just came out tonight and told everybody they need to take a step back and stop irritating each other.
I agree with China.
Well, China's pissed now because North Korea's coming after them, and we're going after China, and it's just a big, it's just a big, I don't know, man. It's dangerous when you got all these countries pushing each other.
Yep.
It really is. It's dangerous. All these big countries pushing each other, man.
Really dangerous.
That's what I'm saying. It's imminent, man. We're going to be going to war. We're going to go to war somewhere. Either Pakistan and India are going to set it off, and we're going to have to jump into that bullshit, and there's going to be a fray over atomic weapons being launched and whatever.
Well, another nuclear sub popped its head up today over in the Korean Peninsula area, so we know we got at least 2 of them there now.
Wow.
And then we got another sub there, too, that carries the Navy SEALs and stuff. But so we've got 2 nuclear subs and a troop carrying type sub. Japan's just said its biggest, newest helicopter protecting our oiler over there that we use to fill up our ships over there.
Yeah, because we can't protect anything ourselves.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Why does Japan got to protect us? And then the deal is because Japan, after World War II, signed a thing saying that they would never act offensively unless they were attacked.
But they changed that last year.
Well, they changed it to now where they can send troops abroad, but they still can't fire unless they're fired upon.
Yeah, but I mean, they started developing their military up last year.
Yeah, and they're moving their military now, so they're taking increment by increment, saying, all right, we're going to send our troops here now, but we're only going to be in a defensive position even with these troops. But now what America's trying to do is Japan, the new Abe there came out today and says, well, I really want to discuss this now with our government where we can be more of an offensive measure now. And he passed it through us, and we said, we don't have a problem with it, dude. Where Trump says, if you want to become offensive, you can become offensive. We'll work on this treaty stuff and see what we can do. We want Japan to be offensive with us, so we're willing to scrap this World War II era pact.
Right. That
they can't act offensively. And, I think Japan's putting it through us first to see how we feel about it. And I think Trump will sign off on it.
I guess we'll see come next week or something.
Whenever little Kim does this nuke test, that seems to be Trump's red line. Either an ICBM test is Trump's red line, or
but he already did that. Test. He already fired off the missile. And we didn't do shit.
It was a medium range.
Oh, for Christ's sake! Okay,
so Trump has said it's got to be. Trump's come out and says, "I don't draw red lines like Obama. I don't want to draw a red line, and then if it doesn't work out, I look like a pussy." Is basically what Trump said. But Trump says 2 things for me for sure. If he does this nuke test or if he test launches an ICBM, there will definitely be military action. He says, other than that, we're working on it.
We fired 2 ICBMs in the last week.
Yeah, we have too.
So what if somebody wants to come over here and kick our ass for doing that?
That's what I've always thought too. What right do we got to go in these other countries and tell them what they can and can't do, but yet, no one comes here,
I think the rest of the world's thinking that too. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, I think everybody's just finally getting to the point where they're sick of it. I know Russia and China's sick of it.
Yep.
I think a lot of people in this North Korea's sick of it.
A lot of awake people in this country are pretty sick of it too.
A lot of our allies are sick of it.
Yeah. I'm
us dragging them into these wars, man, because we always take our allies with us.
Yep. Whether they want to go or not.
When we invaded Libya, who did we make come with us? Britain and France.
Every NATO nations. All you NATO boys need to, either pony up some money or some troops or some fucking, whatever. Okay. We're over the clock, so I'm going to say goodnight, everybody. Thanks, David. Appreciate you for coming on. Lance, thank you too. Kim, it's good to hear from you always.
Good night.
Thanks, Jimmy. Thanks.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Everybody out there in YouTube land. We'll see you Saturday. Hopefully Charlie will make it on here and he'll give me some
peace and love.
Yep. Be safe, everybody.
Love, peace, and cookies, everybody. See you Saturday.